Anansi and 5. Answer the following questions. A. What was the witch's name, and why didn't she like it? The witch's name was 5. She did not like it because all through her life people had laughed or looked surprised when they heard her name. B. What was the witch doing in her garden? The witch was stirring her big cooking pot and saying a spell in her garden. C. Why was Anansi pleased? Anansi was pleased because he heard the witch, and he thought he would be able to use her spell to make some money or get some food. D. What was the first animal that Anansi tricked? The first animal that Anansi tricked was Mrs. Rabbit. E. Which animals were not fooled by Anansi? Miss Frog and Mrs. Shrew were not fooled by Anansi. F. What things could you buy in the market? At the market you could buy yams, beets, pulses, grains, sweet potato, pies, and mouth-watering delicacies. G. Why was Mrs. Shrew going to the market, and what was she going to do there? Mrs. Shrew was going to the market to try to sell the pies she had made. She wanted to buy some mouth-watering delicacies for her family at the market. H. Why did Anansi get angry with Mrs. Shrew? Anansi got angry with Mrs. Shrew because she would not say the number 5. I. How many characters are there in the story you have just read? Make a list. There are 6 characters in the story: the witch, Anansi, Mrs. Rabbit, Mr. Duck, Miss Frog, and Mrs. Shrew. J. What clues are there in the story which tell us that Anansi was not a nice spider? He is a trickster. He scowls. He is dishonest. He tricks nice characters. He does not share his food. Fill in the blanks with suitable words from the story. A. Anansi was a trickster and he was having a difficult time. B. Anansi peeked through a gap in the witch's fence. C. He imagined what delicious foods he would find. D. A scurrying sound pulled Anansi from his daydream. E. She walked on the nearest mound and stood on it. F. Anansi grinned and showed all his sharp teeth. Answer the questions about these lines from the story. 1, 2, 3, 4, and this one that I am sitting on. A. Who says these words? Mrs. Shrew. B. What is the speaker counting? Mounds of earth. C. Why does the speaker say, and this one that I am sitting on? Mrs. Shrew avoids saying the number 5. She was not a fool. She guesses that Anansi trick her. She knows he wants her to say all the numbers, so she does not do it. D. What happens after this? Anansi gets so cross that he says the number and disappears. Challenge. What is the moral of this story? The moral of the story is that greed will bring you trouble. We could also say that causing trouble for others brings you trouble.